Guys, what's up? Houndish here, and today we're going to talk about the Divinity quest, which has finally been completed. Equally as exciting for me personally is that we also get a much better look at the new dungeon weapons that we'll see for Shadowkeep, so we'll look at those in more detail in a moment, but we're going to talk about other hidden rewards, a secret and pretty dope looking festival weapon, new exotic catalysts, and we'll talk the return of the Undying Mind, Easter eggs in the game, as well as Bungie's new game, and they've teased that they want this to drop within a few years of now, so we have a lot to talk about in the video. The first thing we should speak about right here is that Divinity is finally available in the game. And Treb on Reddit shared a clip of the 6th and final puzzle in order to access the weapon, and so these are completed using the tether mechanic that you'll find throughout the raid to make change from Guardian to Guardian. Definitely pretty cool mechanics, but on top of this, Garrison 1 shared that Divinity and Melting Point stack, as well as Tether, and the base Divinity damage buff or the crit spot appears to allow you to essentially do a little bit less than Tether would, but it's multiplicative and so it will stack with Tether or Melting Point, and damage goes from around about a 2100 or so crit up to around 3400, so it could be pretty nasty for DPS, especially if you start stacking a bunch of damage bonuses together. And Dado has just posted a full quest guide for this weapon, so if you need help in the raid sections, you can check that out. But otherwise now, we wait for the arrival of Leviathans Breath, and that is the next roadmap exotic on October 22nd. Now though, we get a better look at some of the dungeon rewards that we're going to find when that launches on the 29th of October, and these were shared by Jinsa on Twitter, so spoiler alert, these are never before seen weapons with the exception of those that we spotted very briefly inside of the trailer. And so we have the Blasphema, that's the shotgun, Apostate, which is the sniper rifle, and the Heretic rocket launcher. And so between the image and the trailer, we know that we've got a precision frame shotgun right there. I think the sniper looks like it's a rapid fire sniper, maybe like a Viced one. And then there is the launcher there. And I personally really like these weapons, the general cosmetic of them. Some folks have said more reskins, which, yeah, for sure, those base models are already a thing in the game, but to get some more gritty, enemy-themed weapons like this, for me, is pretty exciting. So definitely let me know your thoughts about them. However, bear in mind, the images you're seeing from Jinsa's Twitter post there don't represent the in-game renders for the weapons. These ones are kind of like what you'd see in the companion app when you look at gear, but in-game, they should be pretty similar to some of the Hive-themed Eververse gear like the Bloodrunner's Sparrow. We will, however, have at least 4 weapons to go after in the dungeon though, because Bungie confirmed that Premonition, which you can see in the collections, and is listed as a moon weapon, but is actually going to drop from the dungeon, and this is one that I got to use in a pre-release event for Shadowkeep, and it was certainly pretty strong. However, even with these weapons in mind, there are a few more grayed out slots in the Shadowkeep badge. So 3 of them will be for the dungeon weapons, but others, I would imagine, are things like emblems and cosmetics. And these aren't confirmed dungeon rewards, but there are a couple of emblems like Crimson Echoes, and we can see the sources redacted there, but also Sanguine Static. Very clearly Hive themed, but maybe we'll get them from the dungeon, but they could be Nightfall exclusive emblems and things like that as well. Either way, let us know your thoughts on those potential dungeon loot drops. Next up though, Festival of the Lost will return on October 29th alongside that dungeon. And we don't know too much about it yet, but it does appear that we'll get a new weapon, so like most of the items here, you can spot them on light.gg. We're possibly looking at a new assault rifle or machine gun here, maybe the equivalent of the auto rifle that we got last year, but this thing has a very different skin in that icon, and it's worth pointing out that this doesn't show an ornament background, so it almost certainly is a weapon in itself. I'd love to hear your thoughts below, but there are a series of other classified items, some for specific vendors like Anna Bray, Asher, and Sloan, and so we'll be travelling around at least a little bit during Festival this year, but I'll keep you posted when we get further news. Now, as we unlock a bunch of the new exotics for Shadowkeep and Season of Undying, it's worth pointing out once again that each of these exotics appears to have a catalyst in the game, but unlike some of the other ones listed for Year 2 weapons for example, all of these have a unique and updated icon, so it would appear that they're going to drop relatively soon in the next season or maybe couple of seasons. Now though, let's move away from items and gear. Maroon Assassin posted to Raid Secrets that it appears we can find the resting place of Luna in the game. And if you read the lore for the hand cannon Luna's Howl, Luna was actually a dog. And I've kind of heard about that before, but I don't know too much about this lore. It does however make sense, and Joseph, the owner of the weapon Luna's Howl, reportedly lost his dog on the moon. And you can find this collar, I believe, near to the Vex portal, so pretty interesting Easter egg right there, and who knows, it could be a location or item that we have to visit or collect in an upcoming quest or something. Now that some of the Season of Undying content has rolled out, we've kind of gained access to the Vex offensive, some of the weapons, we've seen Vex invasions. And some folks are wondering how this season will expand, and if we'll get more Vex content over the next few weeks. And of course the last major beat on the season roadmap is the final assault for Vex offensive, and Akora did tip us off in a cutscene about this, as well as reintroducing us to an old enemy, so check this out.
I've been studying incoming recon data from Luna. It all points to the same thing. The Vex have resurrected an ancient Hydra that we call the Undying Mind. The name says it all, really. We fought it many times before. Its primary directive is to take control of the Black Garden. Its secondary directives could result in the destruction of the Traveler. It's moving between timelines, hiding itself. It's learned from its past mistakes. But so have we. I'll come up with a plan. But I need time. And I need more data. I'm counting on you.
So it's pretty cool that she references Undying Mind, and I'm curious to learn the story there. But I tell you man, I really hope there's going to be an awesome loot drop or thing to chase when we get into that final assault. For me, with it being Undying Mind, personally, I would love to see something like an exotic Imago loop come back to the game, maybe with a Fatebringer-esque role. Could you guys imagine that? I'd love to hear your thoughts, but regardless, I'm sure there will be some kind of reward as well as the story delivery itself as we close out the season with that final assault. Also, if you're looking for a relatively easy title and you own Season of Undying, the one for Season 8 should be a fairly manageable one to get done, and also pretty fun to do if you enjoy the Season of Undying content, the invasions and the offensive, so definitely keep your eye on that new title if you're interested. One of the items we'll have to pick up will be Leviathan's Breath. I'm really curious to see how good this weapon's actually going to be, but we do have to make our way into that secret workshop of Banshees in the tower, and it will be via a hidden entrance, so it won't make itself immediately obvious, but once we've been into that workshop, we'll find a bow locked in a display case. But because there's no way into the safe case, we'll need to generate data in order to get access to it, so this is where we'll have to complete Gambit matches or Vanguard strikes to generate 100 data, and Gambit Prime as well as Nightfall strikes will grant the most efficient progress. Following this, we need to use any bow to land precision final blows against Vex or Cabal. And it's pretty cool because, much like Legend of Acreus, which was another Cabal and Leviathan associated exotic, also had us complete an epic reprise version of the Arms Dealer strike in the European Dead Zone. And so that's what we'll have to do for this step. And then we'll take it back to Banshee, who will be able to unlock it for us and give us the bow. So from a lore and gameplay perspective, the quest itself sounds like it's going to be pretty fun. A quick shout that I wanted to make about the Vex invasions that have taken place on the moon. Of course, I've covered this in other videos, but a lot of folks are talking about the ability to farm powerful gear from the Vex overlords that spawn during Vex invasions. And it totally is a thing, so if you get the 4th boss to spawn, that'll be the giant Hydra, the Overlord, and these things are super tanky, but when you take them down, you will get powerful gear. However, because there are quite a few powerful drops that you get early on when you unlock that Season of Undying content, it did cause a little bit of confusion. And basically, the first 2 times that you kill the Overlord boss every week, you should get a powerful drop that'll give you pretty substantial gains. However, after those first 2 times on each character, the boss is just going to drop normal gear. According to folks on Reddit though, it is character based, so you could farm out 2 Vex invasions on each character, or specifically 2 Overlord kills, and as well as the other Vex offensive related quest stuff, of course you're going to get quite a bit of powerful gear. And so essentially that's the main thing you need to worry about if you're farming Vex invasions for powerful stuff. The first 2 Overlord kills on each character each week appear to give powerful drops, and then it goes back to normal stuff. So I just wanted to clarify that for you guys. To round up a final couple of things here, JP Deathblade posted to Reddit that he's actually hit rank 100 on the season pass, which is absolutely crazy. And so they've got access to all of the rewards and things, but interestingly, they actually use the XP farming method that I spoke about the other day, picking up the RSV purchable bounties on the moon and then clearing them in the lost sectors. And so it does kind of prove the effectiveness of that particular strategy, and I do have a video about this, as well as other strats for massive XP gains, so if you want to do the same thing, you can check out that video linked below. The last thing to touch on here is not Shadowkeep related, but we're starting to see hints of what Bungie are working on for the future now. And they are actually developing a brand new AAA title. And via the jobs page you can see this. They're looking for various artists and developers to work on their next AAA title, and they also reference a visually inspired AAA title. On top of this, Pete Parsons, the CEO of Bungie, recently said in an IGN interview that they want to launch a non-Destiny game by 2025. And of course that's pretty crazy stuff, that's like 6 years away. Bungie have also trademarked a couple of titles, and you remember last year that they received a pretty huge investment from Tease, who helped to publish a whole bunch of mobile games and stuff. So whatever that game is, whether it's a mobile game or another console PC game is yet to be revealed, but alongside Destiny, as Bungie said, they want to move forward as a multi-franchise studio. And so I'd love to hear your thoughts about that, the future of Destiny. It's also possible that the next AAA title Bungie reference on the jobs page could actually refer to D3 or another Destiny game of some sort. They are, however, also working on another title to release in a few years' time. For today though guys, that's everything I wanted to talk about in the video, so as always, let me know any of your thoughts down below. I want to say a massive thank you for all of the recent support here on the channel. Loads of new subscribers, and you guys have been tuning in and engaging in all the content that I'm posting, so I really appreciate that guys. Hopefully we've got another exciting year ahead, but if you've enjoyed this video, dropping a like down below helps me out more than you could possibly imagine, and if you're new around here and you do enjoy the content, be sure to get subscribed to see a lot more D2 content. For now though, thank you for tuning in, and I hope you guys have an awesome day.